Welcome back. Thank you for staying with the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Infrastructure Minister Stephenson King is sharing his thoughts on the recent cases where teachers walked away from their duties due to mold issues and other infrastructural problems at schools. He says although the responsibility for the schools do not fall under his jurisdiction, as a concerned citizen, he is not pleased about the situation. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
Since the reopening of the new school term in September 2019, the Ministry of Education has been inundated with calls of concerns from teachers and principals wishing to report numerous issues which have left them as well as the students susceptible to illness. In the month of October alone, the department has been left to deal with the matter of frustrated teachers sending a message to management by walking off the job, two of those schools being the Gordon and Walcott Memorial Methodist School as well as the Entrepot Secondary School. When asked to comment on the matter, Infrastructure Minister Stephenson King said as a citizen, he is appalled by what the nation's teachers and students go to school to face daily.
Though the responsibility for maintenance and upgrade of schools was removed from the Ministry of Infrastructure a year ago, personally as an individual, I've always said, long before being Minister for Infrastructure, I've always said that it's certainly unacceptable for our children to be allowed to learn in some of the environments that I've seen.
King continued on to say that although works are being carried out to remedy the situation, more should be done to ensure that no teacher or child is left to function under such conditions.
And there's every effort, as you're aware, for government to try and augment that situation. But I believe we need to do something and to ensure that both teachers and students operate in an environment that is healthy, that is safe, and that is conducive to learning.
The students of the Entrepot Secondary School returned to their normal classes on Tuesday, October 29th, after the school was shut from Wednesday, October 23, 2019, to facilitate cleanup efforts of a mold infestation. Prior to the shutdown, teachers staged a walkout from Friday, the 18th of October, and refused to return to classes until their concerns were addressed. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
The Journée Creole crowd in Choiseul was not to be rivaled. Although not an official host community under the auspices of the FRC, Choiseul hosted Journée Creole as a privately funded event by Choiseul-based organization Impromptu Events. Midnight Groovers and WCK headlined the concert that ended Journée Creole on a high note in the community. Let's take in the highlights from Journée Creole in Choiseul.
C'est ici, on va aller. Yo, bon. So ça c'est pour tout le monde. Tout le monde. Non ça, c'est bay pat. J'ai bay yon femme. Ouais, elle fait suspend. Ouais, les ou j'ai bay wing. Ouais, ou ni pour faire comme ça. Nous ka vin bay pat. Bay pat. Bay pat. Bay pat. Bay. Les bay de. Tout le monde. Ouais, j'ai bay yon femme. Ouais, elle fait suspend. Ouais, les ou j'ai bay wing. Ouais, ou ni pour faire comme ça. Nous ka vin bay pat. Bay pat. Tout le monde, now, touchez tes tout, ouais, touchez talon, ouais, now, faut tes boudons, ouais, touchez tes tout, ouais, touchez talon, ouais, faut tes boudons, j'ai payé une femme, ouais, elle fait six semaines, ouais, les ou j'ai payé, ouais, ou ni pour faire comme ça, nous ka vin bay pat, les BD, tout le monde, ouais, j'ai payé une femme, ouais, elle fait six semaines, ouais, les ou j'ai payé, ouais, ou ni pour faire comme ça, nous ka vin bay pat,
Summons and Mighty put their stamp on Journée Creole 2019 with their popular songs By Pat and Tua. The songs received heavy rotation on airwaves during Creole Heritage Month, and on Journée Creole Sunday, the two young performers kept the Choiseul crowd going with hit after hit. The rise in prominence of the Dennery segment has also seen the rise of two dynamic superstars in the genre, a pair who delivers scintillating dance moves with signature beats and very catchy lyrics. Summons and Mighty have cornered the market on the Creole music genre in the 21st century, and come Journée Creole, their schedule is always packed. Hot 7 TV caught up with the high-energy performers in Choiseul, where Journée Creole activities were hosted on the Lafargue playing field.
It's always a pleasure performing in front of my people, and I really enjoyed myself, and I had fun out there.
Oui, c'est un privilège. Journée Creole, nous toujours venir à musique ou non, et nous just been by crowd là, ça y a besoin.
Now let me tell you, your two songs have been destroying the airways. Tua and By Pat. First, give me a little insight into those two songs. Where did those ideas come from?
Well, it's always about it came from our creativity. It came from my creativity, and it's just, stuff that is going on in our community, around the place that we just want the public to know and stuff like that. So that's how we are creative with our music.
Well, Selusha know me for dancing. I'm a dancer, so I just mix the craft, the dancing with the art form, my music, and then, the By Pat came along.
Summons and Mighty fused their talents in 2009 to form the duo. They have since had opportunities to perform all over the world. Their music and dance challenges are popular across social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook. They say it all began with just a pure love for music and a lot of hard work along the way.
I just want to let the upcoming generation, I just want to let them know that they should continue whatever they love doing. Always believe in yourself and always do the best always do your best and be the best that you can be.
Well, we want to thank Father God for giving us the strength and the talent so that we can do more music for our people. And we can let them know that the Creole goes far, So big up the youths, let them know. I want to let the youths know with talent, perseverance, and with God, anything is possible.
Summons and Mighty are currently working on music projects ahead of the 2020 Carnival season. They plan to expand their participation in various regional and international carnivals. Now, following the culmination of Creole Heritage Month with Journée Creole, Fortuna Belrose held a press briefing where she described the entire affair as a very successful Journée Creole 2019.
Beaufort and Bossejou were the official host communities, but Journée Creole 2019 was celebrated all around the island. This year marked the 36th observation of Journée Creole, and it was one which Minister for Culture, Fortuna Belrose, labeled a major success. She says that high levels of crowd participation and abundance of food and drink contributed to this success.
From all indications, the events were well patronized in terms of people coming out to see what was happening in previous times. But more importantly, I think the clean air experience was what really struck quite a few people. So people indulged a lot in the food and the drink. And of course, there was quite a bit of the cultural activities, creative events going on stage and off stage as well in the communities. Generally, overall, I think we can say from an event standpoint, the events were well patronized, well supported. The system seemed to have worked very well, and we're quite happy with the feedback. Of course, the Folk Research Center now will be detailing and looking at it in terms of our Creole heritage and what was actually showcased and where they would like to see it go. But in terms of us from the event, the management of people, the management of traffic, and of course ensuring that our vendors, our people in communities benefited from it. I think we saw a lot of that happening.
Belrose says that Journée Creole also provides an opportunity to highlight the fashion industry in St. Lucia. She says that relevant authorities are currently in the process of designating fashion-oriented festivities to highlight the creativity of local designers, during next year's Creole Heritage Month activities.
What was interesting too is the level of fashion, and I think St. Lucians, of course, have always been fashion conscious, but Creole Heritage Time is when you really get to see the nation out in full bloom. Creole Heritage and I would say Independence are the two major times when we see the fashion industry in St. Lucia coming through. And what we're hoping to do next year is to really build on that and in a meaningful way come through with a major event for our fashion industry personnel next year and our citizens to participating.
Belrose says that host communities performed exceptionally well this year and hopes that next year chosen hosts can surpass this success. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Ode.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more news coming up after the break.